Hello everyone. I'm out here in the garden. I'm wanting to share with you guys a couple things that I have on my mind. Just a quick reminder about how they're trying to enslave us, Um, I say this because we need to remember we can't just be ignorant about the fact that there is an agenda to do that. And I'm just going to spill some of the things that I've seen um, this year and last year, what's been going on. So ways that they're trying to enslave you is by climate change. You know what's going around. That's what's hot right now. 2019, climate change. 2020, I'm sure it's gonna come, and that's a way where they're gonna enslave you by the cry out of our climate needs it. So this is where this ties into gardening and permaculture. Um, so in the future, I don't believe that this type of information that I'm even sharing with you guys will be allowed. They might be censored, or there might be just a standard out there. I really don't know, but for some reason I think this. So um, yeah, I want to tell you guys some of the lies that are going on, and that the main public is buying. Um, yeah, got a random cat out here. He's after my Bella, and Bella's fixed. So yeah. But anyways, yeah. So some of the lies that are happening, some of the delusions that are happening. Um, just guys, I just want you guys to see past through that and not to fall for it. And just happiness is only real whenever you share it. So share it. Hit the thumbs up button. Um, so I want to get started with this video. First, I'm going to see what's up with the cat, and then yeah. So yeah, that was a quote from Into the Wild. The one, happiness is only real when shared. I believe that to the core. Cat's just spraying his scent over there for Bella. And yeah, guys, I wanted to share some of the lies, some of the corruptions that are going on in this world. But before I get started with that, I want to share a couple quotes with you. One of them is that you're only as strong as... Wait, alright, start over. It's not always necessary to be strong to feel strong. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Okay, it's not necessary to be strong, but to feel strong. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not, because you could be really strong and not feel strong, or you could be, you get what I'm saying? Not so strong and feel strong. So it's all in the mind. That's one of them. The other one is that some people feel like they don't deserve love, so they just walk away quietly into empty spaces to try to close the gaps of the past. So they're always trying to fix something in the past that, kind of like blaming themselves or blaming I don't know. You can interpret this quote as you may, but that's another one that's kind of a lie. That one, well, the other one was true, but this one is revealing something. This quote's kind of saying that you don't deserve. Some people feel like they don't deserve love. So that's a lie, because you do. I mean, you are loved. And yes, we don't deserve love, but we are loved. We gotta know that. You're like 1 in 4 trillion, just like right at conception. So I mean, you're here for a reason and a purpose, and you are loved. And so that's that one. And then the other one is the garden, the closest place to God. where you're surrounded by love and beauty. Um, that's a quote that I just kind of made up. And when you forgive, you you God's you love it, okay. When you forgive, you love, and when you love, God's light shines upon you. Okay. The other one is always ask for forgiveness. You know, we always do things wrong, so you always want to ask for forgiveness, because whenever you ask for forgiveness, it's a form of washing the cup. This is just the way that my perspective of it. Hey, kitty cat, get out of here. He's trying to get out of here. There's only one way out. The way you came in. And he just spraying himself everywhere. Gross. So anyways, when you ask for forgiveness and, you know, all of that, it's like a way of washing yourself. You're like a cup. So before, you know, we serve, we do anything, we kind of do that as before we can get filled again with anything else, with any joy. We have to wash. If we've done something wrong, ask for forgiveness. It's a way of washing the cup before you get it filled up again. You know, a way of detoxing before you can put vitamins or anything else in it, healing wise. So I hope you're getting what I'm dropping here. So yeah, that's some of the quotes that I wanted to get out there before I start the video, and talk to you guys the real lies that are out there, and you know, with climate change and you guys not falling into it, and so we don't have to pay a carbon tax, you know, for our breathing and our air and stuff. Weather is great right now, but in the summertime it gets really hot, and just a lot of stuff that's going on that I really don't understand all of it, but I do understand that there's some lies going on. I do understand that there's some weather manipulation, if I may, going on, and maybe that's not being talked so much about whenever the climate change subject comes up out there in the main media. So and these kind of videos, you know, this is hitting it, I think, at the core. You know, with the mother of all conspiracy, you guys know that it's you know, the shape of the earth. You know, what is the shape of the earth? That's another subject all in its own, but so we'll get the video started here. And you guys, one thing that is very important is the wildfires. Chickens is trying to go to bed. Wildfires supposedly going on in California. Wildfires. I don't think that they've been so much wild because of everything that's the way that the evidence. How does a fire burn a car the way that it does and flip it, but there's no fire around it in the interstate, if that makes sense? And just cars are burned like all the way, like houses are leveled to the ground within 12 hours. You know, there's some direct energy weapons to cause these fires. They've got lasers, like microwave laser. You put a light and then you direct it towards something, and then you can burn that. They had a laser and they had it pointed towards a plane, and so they turned on the laser and the plane started on fire with inside the plane. So that's the kind of technology that we have nowadays, and that's what's going on. PG&E, just this thing called, I guess it's like OG&E here in Arkansas, Oklahoma. They were going to go bankrupt because of all these fires. You know, they were caught, I think, doing the fires, and yeah, so pretty bad stuff, guys. Those fires, don't fall into it. The wildfires and global warming, don't fall into it. So yeah, guys, these fires are just intense, and so intense they burn aluminum off cars, and just crazy stuff that you never seen or heard of. Level out houses within 12 hours, and so there's something going on. They want to blame it on global warming, but I don't think so. I think that something else is going on, guys. So I'll leave it up to you to do your research on this and what you guys think about these wildfires that are going on in California. We can't forget about that stuff. Another thing that's crazy about this is that where the fires hit, the insurance companies that covered that area don't allow the people to rebuild there, or not allowing. And these areas have to do with United Nations Agenda 21, that they don't want you to have to live in that area. So yeah, so it's just getting you out of there for some reason. So that's what it seems to be. Control over the land, control over the resources, control over the seas, guys. They want control over everything if they can pass the laws. And I mean, this is not okay, guys, because it's not okay. I mean, what's gonna happen to our kids, what's gonna happen to our grandkids, and all of that. We're just gonna be enslaved, and the earth is everyone's. It's yours, it's ours, it's everyone. We're all part of it, and really it's nobody's at the end of the day, because we're all just passing by. So I mean, that's just greedy, and we have to put it out there, guys. What's the bigger agenda? We can't fall into it and just go blinded, like, I don't know, just we gotta wake up. Okay, so the next subject I wanted to talk to you about was kind of like, let's say that you were king. If you were king, or you controlled the earth or whatever the resources, and because you had the people enslaved, and you saw that they were beginning to wake up, and what would you do? I mean, you were seeing the people that are starting to rebel, the revolution is starting to happen. You could see Hong Kong, you could see France, you can see Peru, Chile, I don't know, Venezuela, Argentina, you can name it, and we're all starting to wake up. It's a mass consciousness awakening happening. And what are we going to do with it? That's the thing. What are we going to do with it? Is it going to go the right way or the wrong way? What's going to happen next? That's where I'm kind of like concerned about, because it's like this. It's like the fire is just fear. So there's a fear burning. And ignorance is right up here being cooked, while they're trying to produce hate to go to the top, like doing an essential oil, and the oil be hate. So we can't do that, guys. We can't hate or love. There's only two ways. What's gonna happen when we wake up? Are we gonna choose delusion, lie, be deceived, or truth? Love or hate. That's kind of what this video is kind of like shining a light towards. But you be your own judge. You connect the dots out there. So if you were king, you'd probably, and the people started to wake up against your corruption, you'd probably hope that they forget about it, distract them with social media, and with any way you can, hey, move the things around and try to distract from this headline to that headline, and just like that. So confusion, and so that's one thing. So there's a beautiful transformation happening in mass consciousness, and which way is it gonna go? Love or hate? So with this transformation, are we just gonna go south with it, or what's gonna happen? Are they gonna use it to divide us by color, by race, by background, by status, by whatever? by indifferences? Or are we gonna let truth be born and not abort the truth, if I may? Are they gonna divide us by pro-life or pro-choice and all of this, Democrat, Republican? We can't allow that. That's, in the end of the day, doesn't matter. It's bigger than all of that. Those are just things that they're using to divide and conquer. You know, to each their own. And guys, there's just so much going on. But we can't fall into the lies that there's out there. And yeah, I'm just trying to blow a trumpet here, if I may. That's pretty much what I'm trying to do here. And you know, I don't know how you may hear it. Depending on where you're at, you may hear it differently. But you know, are we gonna turn this into a pity war about this and that indifferences, or are we gonna look above and beyond that and try to listen to each other and talk to one another? Or are we gonna kill each other and not listen to one another? You know, Blue Life Matter, all of it is division. All of it is made to divide. All lives matter. You know, we can't get caught up in there. We just can't. We need to be past that. If this awakening and this birth wants to happen, we have to be ready. We have to be ready whenever all of this happens. That's pretty much all I'm saying. We have to understand that we are a tool. We can be used to build or destroy. And I'm sure we all want to build and not destroy. So do we want to get caught up? We don't want to get caught up in the ego part of it. We want there to be power in the message, the power to be in the message, and that power comes from truth, and that truth will be revealed. It's light, so everyone will be able to see it. Everybody will be able to see through there, and that's what's going to happen. Everybody will be able to see everything. I guess the truth about history, the truth about the news, the truth about what's really going on and what's really going to happen, and why we are here and what we're supposed to do and what it all means. That's what's coming. I think a lot of that's gonna just sink in deeper. And so yeah, you know, we want a revolution and not a civil war, and that's pretty much where we need to draw the line and make sure that we're on the revolution and not the civil war, and you know, not fighting each other, but coming together, but in a sense that how can I say it? Well, that could be a trap too, coming together, if we come together for the wrong things and not for the good things. So, you know, that is the name that the system wants. One world order, or you know, just one. And so yeah, how can I say this? Yeah, so that you know, we want to unify for good and not for bad, but we have to be careful, because whenever we unify, we're easier to control too. So that's kind of what the bad guys are looking at. So you just got to keep that in perspective. And so yeah, we all want love, we all want peace, happiness, we all want to be free, and we all want to survive, even thrive. And that's the part where this garden and permaculture comes in, and that's how I connect to this whole thing that's going in the world, because it grounds you. It's part of the earth. It's part of what's going on. Climate change, it just, you look at the bigger picture and just pointing out and calling what I see. So yeah, guys, there's corruption going on big time. I know personally, because I could say there's corruption in the medical field. There's corruption in the DHS field. I mean, yeah, there's money involved with taking your kids away. There's not really the best interest for the child. It's the best interest for the pocketbooks. And I'm just gonna stop there, and I'll do a separate video on that. Get into more into details about that and how deep the rabbit hole goes on that end. I've gone that end of it, and it's all ching, as you guys already know. Yeah. So with that, guys, we all want to survive and we all want to thrive. But the key here is to love yourself. To love your neighbor as yourself. To love your neighbor as yourself, and because your neighbor is yourself. That way, if I can put it that way, we're all connected. So, you can't be at peace knowing someone else is hurt. It's not happiness is not real unless you share it. So, you want to make sure that everyone is covered. That makes sense. That's where the covering comes in, guys. That's where the soil and the covering, the mulch, and no weeds coming through. Like, all of this connects in my head. It all connects. It all makes sense in a profound way that you just need it. But you don't want communism, and you don't want socialism either. At least I've heard. I haven't got to experience that, but from what I hear and from what you look at, you don't want it to be that way either. So it's a very fine line of what I'm saying here. You've got to see it from a bigger eye view, from a higher perspective. We're all the same. There's no color difference. There's no differences. We're all humans. So whenever we see with the true perspective, we see past all the lies, guys. And so I hope I'm making sense here. The covering with the mulch and back to Eden, permaculture, that covers everything, I feel like, planet. So it takes care of the planet, earth care, take care of the earth. Then that, because you're taking care of everything in the earth, there's enough for people and humans, and because there's people care, then there's enough for a fair share, so everyone gets to be covered by it. So that's where permaculture hits it right on the nail, I believe, with everything that's going on. Climate change, this, that, corruption. So we have got to find a better way, and we don't want to be fighting against each other for background differences, for lifestyles, for whatever it may be, whatever they're trying to divide us with. We can't allow that. We have to see past the lies, and so yeah, I hope you followed me this far. You have to think, who is really the stronger? Those people in control, the little small group in control, or all those 7 billion whatever million people out there obeying, consenting, complying to the rest? So the power is really in us, in the numbers, and so we are the power, we the people. Does that make sense? You should all read the Constitution. It's really good, and yeah, it's very important. Something that I'm sure they're trying to get away with, and with history and everything. And the reason that we comply, and it's because of the job to survive, but the reason we're struggling to survive is because we're under their umbrella, their rule. So if we were under our own, where they didn't keep us isolated, and where we are competing against each other because we're isolating and not working together, with permaculture, you erase all that. So you get rid of that, and so that's pretty much what I want to say. We can unite as a people, with the same goals. We have to have the same thing kinda in mind, the same outlook. Well, in a way we do, and permaculture just covers it. living a life of permaculture, being aware of everything and knowing that everything has a double benefit. How you can use things to kill two birds in one stone, that kind of mindset. And so the way to do this is to turn from the current system, from the current structure, and to, that, to stop supporting that, and where we could survive and thrive off the permaculture philosophy, if you may. Um, so yeah, that's where permaculture comes. Um,